Who was Harrison Cantel?
A bit of a loose cannon. If you go up to someone in the street with a camera and say, look, can you just talk to the camera for a second? How many people are going to go, sure, no problem, let's do it? And then they're just one take wonders. It's very, very rare. Can I share another little tip?
Please do.
So it's my 7-day video challenge. We're going to start from Monday, so whenever you're listening or watching from home, we're going to start this from the nearest Monday. And what you need to do is every single morning when you wake up.
Harrison, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for ramping the aircon up today. It is hot.
It's absolutely boiling. It's like the hottest day of the year, I think. And you'll be pleased to hear as well, you're actually our first influencer creator that we're interviewing for the podcast.
Wow. I tell you what, Harrison and influencer has never been put into one sentence.
It's interesting. I might dig into that a bit.
It is interesting, and it's not something I think I'll ever feel comfortable with. It's like celebrities. Do they feel comfortable being called celebrities? I don't know.
So are you an influencer, or are you a creator, or are you both?
I'm an advocate of the things that I'm involved with. I'm an advocate of camera confidence. I'm an advocate of video marketing and personal branding. I've never thought, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen myself as an influencer. But I guess if you think about the term of influencer, am I influencing people? Yes. I'm influencing people to be more comfortable on camera, influencing them to create more engaging video content. So yes, I guess in answer, if you're thinking about it from a technical point of view, I am an influencer.
I would say so.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you did, absolutely. All right, well, I'm just going to go straight into it because I want to know all the nitty gritty. All right. So I'm going to take your mind back 10 years, 2012, Harrison Cantel. Describe that to me. What did that look like? Who was Harrison Cantel?
A bit of a loose cannon, I think is the best way of describing it. I'm not ashamed of the situation I was in from a mental health point of view. It's something I talk about publicly. It's something that I'm it's very much a part of my life from a very early age, much prior to 2012, which by the way was the start of my university degree, 2012. It was the first time I'd kind of been let loose, I guess, and I kind of sent off on my own. I had no choice of being independent. It was like, this is adult life overnight. And maybe I was a little bit immature up until that point, and a little bit naive to what the world was like. Learned very fast what adult life was like, and certainly the world of business, social media, marketing, that kind of, I found out very quickly what the world was like, and as nice and as not nice as it is. But yeah, the main thing when I think about that time in my life was mental health, and I don't know if this is the right word, but feeling a little bit unstable. So kind of one day great, the next day not, and it was that constant up and down that made it really difficult. And it also made it really difficult for me to make close friends, because it was like I was this Harrison on a Monday and then this Harrison on a Tuesday. So that was a bit of a challenge, and that still creeps in every now and again.
Mental health is a really big topic at the moment. It's been massively publicised. Thank you to the internet. It's offering people support and a place where people can really get advice. The biggest example at the moment, of course, is the heavyweight boxer Tyson Fury. He obviously publicises the fact that he struggles with, or has struggled with, mental health, and how he's turned his life around. So hats off to Tyson, absolutely. A really, really great story that you can watch, listen to, I'm sure, all over the internet. I want to relate that to you. So when you went through that stage, how did that affect your ability to move forwards with potentially business ideas, your career? Those around you probably struggled as well.
Yeah, certainly. Not so much to begin with, because I was at university, so it was almost like every man and woman for themselves. Although you had a friendship group and a family around you at university, it was kind of, as soon as your hall's door shuts, it's like it is just you with your room and the space and the free time, etc. So I actually found that quite difficult as well. The free time, it was like I almost had too much time, so that made my mind go a little bit crazy. So I wouldn't say at that point it affected friends and family as much, but it certainly, that was when the imposter syndrome started to creep in. So it was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm at uni, I'm studying media, I'm kind of dipping in and out of different modules. I was doing radio events, all stuff that has pretty much no relevance to what I'm doing now, albeit for me, university wasn't about that piece of paper at the end. It was about who I met, the people that I did met, who I'm still in touch with now, who have actually opened many doors for me. So yeah, it didn't affect friends and family as much at that point, but that was when I first experienced the whole, where am I going, what am I doing, am I good enough to do this, no, am I good enough to do it? And it was just like I was almost closing doors on myself, even though the opportunities were there, which was, looking back, was a little bit silly, but
It's interesting you talk about confidence. So I always see you, people ask me who you are and what you do, and I never really know what to tell them. So I always just say, Harrison is the video confidence coach. That's like my tagline for you.
Yeah.
So you are the video confidence coach. You now teach, obviously what we're doing at LiveLink is a big part of what we're doing. You teach people how to be more confident on camera. But before you go into that, how does that relate to your confidence at university at that stage?
Yeah, so it's something I speak about a lot in terms of my journey. I personally believe no one is born confident. You are not born to be an actor and actress. Confidence is a muscle that you train. For me, that muscle was very small to begin with. It was a case of missing university seminars because I felt physically sick at the thought of presenting. This situation we're in right now would have been an absolute nightmare for me.
Oh, really?
Honestly, cameras, lights, action, the rest of it, would have been a nightmare. I wouldn't have turned up. And that's what happened at university. I just didn't turn up to seminars. Not because I didn't want to learn, because I loved university and I love learning, but the issue for me was I can't stand up and present in front of someone. I just couldn't do it. Physically couldn't bring myself to do it. Also the camera, I was always behind the camera, never in front of it. From a young age as well, like creating family holiday videos. I wasn't in them, I was filming them. I was filming my family having their holiday.
I guess there's more to this, isn't there? Because just reading between the lines, you talk about how you'd always stand behind the camera and you never wanted to be in front of it. How does that sort of resonate with job interviews? And nowadays, people are having interviews they're having to present themselves on Zoom or LiveLink, for example. What was it more than just your career at that stage?
Yeah, I think confidence, especially, we talk about confidence on camera, it kind of transfers across to personal. So in the one-to-one coaching that I do with my clients, it's like, yes, we're working on camera confidence, but we're also working on being a more confident person, and that has to come before the camera, because it's not natural to have a camera in front of you, certainly not to begin with. But it is a more natural process to become more of a confident person. So yeah, I think interviews, public speaking, Zoom calls, I know, I've got clients of mine, I'm coaching them to be more confident on Zoom. Okay. Not just a case of talking to cameras, it's literally talking to their team on Zoom. They want to feel more confident because they don't feel confident, and that could be a setup thing, that could be a limiting beliefs, whatever. So it kind of creeps into all different walks of life, and I've never had one client that is experiencing exactly the same fear or limiting belief. It's so varied. And similar to you guys, having creators from all different walks of life at LiveLink, I have the same in my coaching program where they're from all different walks of life. You've got CEOs, you've got small business owners, local business owners, people from all different walks of life, all different challenges, but ultimately all share a similar challenge, which is confidence.
I mean, I've really enjoyed looking at some of your sessions on LiveLink, and I love what you've been doing. So I'm really intrigued to see some of those very different scenarios and how you go about addressing those.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good partnership. I love learning. I hated school, but I think that's almost like forced learning. You're forced to do subjects that potentially are, we can argue this till the sun goes down, but I think for me, I'm now obsessed with learning. If I take myself back to school, there's no way that obsessed and learning and Harrison would come into one sentence. But now I love it, and I think what you guys are doing is great because you're bringing people together to teach others. And there's a huge reward in that. It's a very, very fulfilling feeling to know that I can go onto LiveLink, run a session, teach people, and then they're going to go talk about how great that session was. For me, that's a win.
It's really interesting. We were speaking with our founder, Ismail, last week, and one of the things that he rightly pointed out is that teaching is very much more than this sort of singular topic. You think of teaching and you think of GCSE maths, you might think of A-level science, you might think of that traditional setting of teachers and school and colleges, whereas, as Ismail rightly said, founder at LiveLink, is that it's so much more than that. You know, people don't always get as much out of learning those sort of staple topics as they do about life skills or confidence or whatever else it might be. So what I love about what you're doing is it's quite a good niche, and it's quite a unique niche. Yeah,
and I think deep down we all struggle from time to time with being on camera, doing things like this. You know, if you go up to someone in the street with a camera and say, "Look, can you just talk to the camera for a second?" How many people are going to go, "Sure, no problem, let's do it," and then they're just one take wonders. It's very, very rare, which is fine. And I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible to feel, and it's not just a case of feeling confident, it's a case of feeling comfortable. I want creating video content to be as routine as brushing your teeth. Do you wake up in the morning and think, right, at 8:03 I'm going to brush my teeth? No, you just do it, and you probably do it in a similar routine, in a similar pattern, in a similar time every single day. For me, being on camera is the same thing. It now doesn't matter where that camera is or what time it is, it's a routine and it's part of my day-to-day. And I truly believe if I've gone from feeling physically sick from presenting to now helping hundreds of people all over the world to feel more confident on camera and more comfortable, anyone can do it. And I just want to clarify as well, I didn't pay thousands of pounds to have help. I didn't go, I had no one or nowhere to turn to as far as I was aware at the time. I have kind of created practical and actionable tasks and exercises for myself to help me overcome that fear, and that's what I'm doing now for other people.
Yeah, and it's becoming more and more important as well, because we're living in a world where you know, more and more people are going online to learn, but also to teach and to go about their daily lives and their business. So being able to have that confidence within yourself, but also portrayed to others as well, certainly within your careers and within interview settings as a prime example. I think it's fantastic what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
So Harrison, you're obviously in quite a cool niche. I really like what you're doing and how you're doing it. What advice would you give to anyone watching at the moment or listening through the podcast that I want to extend this further than just has confidence issues on cameras? That we've been speaking to a lot of people, certainly last week at an event at Google HQ. We were joined by a group called Smileys in Tech, and a lot of them were still studying, or they were in an early stage of their tech career, for example. And for some of those, they'll be now going into interviews and they'll be applying for jobs, and that may come with an element of online face-to-face interaction or some sort of presentation. What advice would you give to those people?
3 words.
I'll leave it to your discretion.
Just hit record.
Oh, really?
So look, there's more to that. So just hit record is a very early kind of method that I created and that really helped me. And you know, it's worth noting, I only talk about things that I've experienced personally and how I overcame them. Whether it's right or wrong, it worked for me, and I'm confident it will work for others. The just hit record method is essentially, as soon as you walk into the room, if you're recording yourself doing an interview or a piece to camera, walk into the room, hit record, and do not stop filming until you're 100% confident that you've covered everything you need to. It's a psychological trick. Every time you mess up, you stumble on your words, naturally you'll go to the camera and press stop and go, right, I'm going to do it again. Every time you're resetting. Every single time your finger touches that red button on the camera, your mind is going, I messed up, I need to start again. Leave it recording. Firstly, you'll capture a load of amazing bloopers, which is obviously great and super relatable. When I post bloopers all day long, I probably have more bloopers in my collection than I do stuff I actually use. So bloopers 1.
Yeah.
The second thing is you're not at risk of missing any value, because what happens is you pressing record and stopping so many times that you actually start talking and then you're not actually filming. So it's a case of walking in the room, hit record, and as soon as you're confident you've covered everything you need to, press stop. It's so simple, but it's something that so many people, they kind of fall at the first hurdle, because as soon as you're touching that camera, it's like, oh, I messed up, I need to do it again. Don't touch the camera. Let the camera do its thing. It's one less thing to think about.
Something we always talk about as well is that people invest in people. And if your video or your presentation is pinpoint perfect, it's very straight line and there's no little bumps in the road, how does that humanize you? How does somebody know who they're investing in? You know, they find out when it's too late if this person is not investable or if this person is investable. So that method that you just described is perfect for that, right? Because it allows people to humanize a brand being themselves.
Yeah, I mean, humanization and humanizing your brand and being yourself, these are all phrases and key words that I throw around a lot, and it's because I'm a huge advocate of all of them, because I think the just hit record method allows you to be 100% yourself. I think you notice, don't you, when you're watching certain videos and you can see people's eyes like this and they're clearly reading an auto cue. Great, it's fine for kind of educational content or things where you need to. But what I like to do is actually come up with 3 to 5 pointers, kind of key topics, and let your personality do the talking for the rest. Yeah. So 3 to 5 pointers. These are 3 to 5 things I cannot miss out in this video. The rest of it, I'm just going to go with the flow. That takes time to evolve and for you to feel more comfortable doing that, because no one can just go, yeah, okay, fine, I'll do that, Harrison. 3 to 5 pointers and the rest is history.
Yeah,
it's difficult, but it's all about retraining and reprogramming the mind, but making it a routine, as I said. Can I share another little tip?
Please do.
So it's my 7-day video challenge. I'm going to keep it short and sweet as possible. We're going to start from Monday, so whenever you're listening or watching from home, we're going to start this from the nearest Monday. And what you need to do is every single morning when you wake up, you prop your phone up, hit record, and tell the camera what you're doing today and how you're feeling.
In 30 seconds?
Well, there's no time limit. This is the key part. As soon as you feel yourself naturally pause or come to a halt or think, I don't know what to say, or you're waffling, whatever, press stop. Okay. Carry on with your day. Do it for 7 days and store all 7 clips on your phone. Don't post them anywhere, just keep them all for day 7. On day 7, watch them all back. It's only 7 days, but you'll notice that firstly how you look is more relaxed as you get to day 5, 6, 7, but also how you feel, which is the most important part. If you feel good doing something, you're going to do it more. Now, the key for this is to press stop when you can't say anything else. Now, what you'll find is on day 1, you'll either talk for 10 minutes about your life and you'll waffle on, or you'll talk for 10 seconds and freeze. It doesn't matter. That's the point. Press stop. Do this for 7 days, watch it back after 7 days, see the magic. And most of my clients, by the way, will continue doing this for months and months. I've got someone that's been doing it for 8 months every day.
So the magic as in you'll increase in confidence?
Yeah, and you're less aware of the camera being present, and I think that's important, and you're more comfortable with being in the presence of the camera. So if you think about it, when you wake up in the morning, you're thinking brush your teeth, breakfast, shower, get ready, whatever. Well, add the camera into the mix, and we're just talking phone, prop it up, talk to it. You can be eating your Weetabix, whatever. Other cereals are available. Just prop
not
the camera.
Not in the shower though, either.
Not in the shower.
No.
Prop the camera up, hit record, and and the key as well is the fact that you're talking about stuff you know, how you're feeling and what you're doing today. I'm not asking you to recite the alphabet backwards or in another language or whatever. It's literally stuff that you know and can just reel off straight away. Mm-hmm. That's the important. I don't want to throw people too far out of their comfort zone, because then the fear is just multiplied. I want people to feel confident and comfortable and get these quick wins, which is what ultimately helped me to overcome camera shyness.
And keep that personally, those videos, or post them.
Bonus points if you want to post them.
Yeah.
Great. Although, is it that interesting to people? Maybe, I don't know, but I know some of my clients have posted them online and have had great feedback, and it really shows the raw and authentic side of them as a person, and etc. So that's great.
Yeah.
Plus the bloopers, there's obviously some great.
It's all about bloopers.
But it's for you and your eyes only.
What I was thinking,
cool.
Light bulb moment, as you said that, I was thinking maybe I could get one of my or all of our co-founders to do this on our Instagram stories, and that could be some great little content on our Instagram.
Amazing. That's great idea. It certainly will show the kind of behind the scenes raw element, which ultimately, like like you started off saying, is humanising your brand.
So if I go to Ismail, who we spoke to last week, and say, Harrison said that you must do this, you're happy for that, yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. That's
the key word is must.
Yeah, underline it.
Underline,
yeah, okay, that sounds good. All right, I'm going to jump on to the next thing now. So I want to talk more about the creator / influencer / advocate economy.
Nice.
To me, I'm joking, but it all seemed on the surface a little bit glitz and glam. Is that the reality, really?
Absolutely, definitely not.
No.
But, you know, look where we are. We're in a beautiful office space with a beautiful plant. It's absolutely there. We didn't place it there. Look, there are elements of it. It's a roller coaster. That's the best way of explaining it. It's an absolute roller coaster. From an engagement point of view, you know, I've had months where I've just had awful engagement in comparison to other months. I actually don't pay any attention to it anymore. The only thing I pay attention to is the conversations that I had from the content I'm posting. Due to the conversations off the back of my content, I'm sat in a room with you and the LiveLink team talking about what I do and what you guys do. That's the conversation that's been had through the content I'm sharing. So it's not all glitz and glam. It is a roller coaster, but it's an amazing roller coaster. And the ups are amazing, the downs are amazing, and like I say all the time, we win or we learn, and I think that's a super important motto that I swear by. And I don't become too emotionally attached with the metrics, and as I call them, vanity metrics. I am purely focused on the conversations I'm having with people, because the clue's in the title, guys. Social media, be social, speak to people. I mean, that's something that I am very, very much a fan of, hence why not all of my content is like, I'm teaching you this and video this and confidence this and whatever. Some post is me eating a pizza, like it's whatever. And to some people that's valuable, to some people it's like, oh, that shouldn't be on LinkedIn. I don't care.
Well, a big part of what you're doing, I suppose, is personal branding. And not to be mixed up with branding. I'm talking about personal branding. You are, Harrison Cantel is the brand. So when I talk about personal branding, instantly what comes to mind is that sense of community. So you are able to humanize yourself, but also you're able to teach parts of your community and learn from those that you network with. And it's the same for us at LiveLink. You know, we have got people like yourselves coming in, content creators, influencers, advocates, teachers, educators, and we also, as a team here at LiveLink, we are learning from the teachers as well. I mean, I've learned a lot today. I'm pointing to you. I've learned a lot today about how to be more confident, and hopefully that comes across on the camera. But you know, just through speaking to you, I have gained in confidence, I feel, and feel like we're, you know, having this more natural conversation.
There you go. Proof's in the pudding. No, it's been one hell of a journey, and look, I'm nowhere near where I've kind of manifested I want to be, but it's just such an amazing feeling and such a fulfilling feeling to know that I can share content online. It gets seen by so many amazing people that also take action and then feed back to me and say, look, Harrison, you posted that last week and it's now helped me. I had someone actually last week say to me that they felt more confident on a Zoom interview. They were really nervous about this Zoom interview, but they weren't ever nervous before about face-to-face interviews, but they found it really hard to read people and vice versa on a Zoom call. So we had a brief chat via the DMs on LinkedIn, and they came back to me and said, look, I had the interview, I got the job, and I felt super confident going into it. So I was like,
congratulations.
That's winner chicken dinner, you know, that's a win-win for me. And it was just a conversation. And I love the word community, and community is something that I am always pushing to build on. My Instagram community is, you know, a lot smaller than other people within my niche and within my network, but they're tight knit. And I honestly have had conversations with pretty much all of them, and we all speak and we all network and we all skill share and whatnot. And I think community for me is actually the priority.
And you're completely open and honest with your content. I follow you on LinkedIn as well.
Sometimes too much, arguably.
I think that's part of your community. I think that is why you've got this successful brand, because people know that they're not getting any of their, I don't want to swear on camera, they're not getting any of the rubbish.
Yeah.
They're getting true, authentic human Harrison, and nothing less.
I think it's, I keep using this word fulfilling, but I think it's a really fulfilling feeling to know that you're being 100% yourself on and offline. There should be no difference really. And people are gravitating towards you, whether it's clients, prospective clients, whatever it is, other creators. It's a nice feeling to know that. And it's like, when someone meets me off camera or off the line, whatever you want to call it, they're like, oh, they don't go, oh, he's really quiet in person, or he doesn't talk about pizza at all, but he does online, whatever. And it's nice to have that that relationship with someone straight away. And I think it helps as well with us connecting people all over the world, people that you couldn't just walk past in the street because they're based in America or whatever. And it's like, this community is global, and that's just a crazy thing, which I think lockdown accelerated, to be fair. So we all want these connections, whether it's online or offline.
It's interesting, you know, because I do follow you on LinkedIn, and obviously we're quite good friends off camera as well. And when we don't see each other for a while, I still feel like I'm seeing you quite regularly because I see your content on LinkedIn, and I know that is you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like fake Harrison, that's the real Harrison.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like I see you every day. So then when you message me and say, hey, we haven't seen each other for a couple of weeks, what are you doing? I think, oh yeah, I haven't seen you.
Yeah.
So.
Do you know what's interesting as well? You mentioned about personal branding. I'm just throwing it out there. I think it's just a case of being human. And if we change personal branding to salespeople, and this is something that gets thrown around a lot. It's like, oh, I hate salespeople, or I hate being sold to. Spoiler alert: we are all salespeople. If you've ever had a job interview in your life, you're a salesperson, because you have sold yourself and your skill set and your abilities and your experience, etc., to get that job. If you've ever convinced a friend to go to a pizza restaurant rather than a vegetarian restaurant, whatever, you're a salesperson.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. We are all salespeople, and we are selling every single day, whether it's selling who we are, who our family are, selling a car, selling something on Facebook, other social media platforms are available. Then like we are all salespeople, and it's the same. We are all a personal brand. It's up to us whether we want to amplify that, grab the megaphone and go, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I help people. And that's something that I do. I scream from the rooftops. Other people don't.
I know you do.
That's it.
Funny you should say that. LiveLink, the product that we're working on at the moment, it takes the burden out of everyday life for content creators, advocates, influencers. So LiveLink does a lot of the administration, they take away all the sort of transaction legalities, they do the email marketing, very specific email marketing, and retargeting as well. So the aim and the vision here is that we very much want you as the content creator to do what you love and what you do best, and that is to create, and that is to humanize, and that is your brand, and all of those amazing things that come with it. So that's my sales pitch over. I know you were talking about being a salesman.
That's great. I didn't even have a clue it was a sales pitch.
Yeah, livelink.vip. Gesundheit. The cameraman has just sneezed. I do want to dig into a little bit of a topic specifically to you, but it also hopefully a lot of people can resonate with this. How did you feel when you got your first client? I'm aware that you were working full time, you were in a 9 to 5, it was in marketing, so it was relevant, but you suddenly made that transition to becoming an entrepreneur and being self-employed. How did you get from zero to something? How did you feel, and what does that look like?
Conversations.
Really?
I literally, I'm here, there and everywhere, and I'm a walking sales pitch, but without meaning to be. And I before setting up the business and whatever, I would say I had near enough zero sales experience. Like I'd never been in a job where I necessarily needed to sell, but then I guess you could argue, well, marketing is selling. To a certain degree. I think for me it was the conversations, and then also most importantly the conversations that the initial clients were having with prospective clients. For example, I do some coaching, help someone to feel more confident on camera, help them to create more engaging video content. They then tell Joe Blogs, and Joe Blogs then tells, and it was just kind of a snowball effect. That's how it happened, to begin with. But actually Age Creative and me, I started off offering videography, which I still do, wedding videos, creating content for businesses. It then evolved during lockdown into the coaching because I couldn't go out, and also no one wanted to spend money on videos for their business when people couldn't come into their business because we had to close everything. Cheers, Boris. But yeah, it kind of evolved into a coaching business, which has now continued, and I now have a coaching program with people in it, and it's amazing. But yeah, I think it was the pivotal moment, I guess, was when my name started being brought up in conversations when people were talking about video, and that's great. And I want to be top of mind. If someone thinks video, I want them to say Harrison. And I'm fortunate enough to get tagged on LinkedIn, especially where it's like someone will do a post saying, oh, I'm really nervous on camera and I really want to start creating video content for my business. Someone will tag me, which is such an amazing feeling, because that means I'm top of mind, and that's the goal.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I mean, you've just got your first office as well. Congratulations!
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you.
So that's an amazing space, which I'm sure you will do wonderful things with. The other thing as well, everything that you've done is organic. You haven't spent a penny on any sort of paid advertising or anything like that. So it has literally just been through networking and engaging online and adding value to your user.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, and again, this is my opinion and my experience, and a lot of people disagree, if it doesn't work organically, it's not going to work paid. Which I know there's a lot of people out there who work in paid, and in my previous 9 to 5, I sat next to the PPC guy, and I was the organic social guy, and we constantly kind of back and forth, a bit like tennis really, kind of batting ideas, he'd bat it back, and I think for me, I guess it comes down to the humanization and the kind of raw and authentic side. But for me, it's like I want to be organic. I want to be who I am, and I want people to see that. Albeit paid ads can obviously help me reach further than that. But at the moment, it's not something that I'm really considering, and I'm enjoying the slower, more organic growth.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting. I'm going to pick your brains.
Yeah, I think a lot of people watching and listening are probably going to think, well, I disagree, but that's fine.
So Harrison, a big part of your success, or a big part of your strategy, is on brand awareness. And I'm going to change that a little bit. I'm going to say a big part of it is heavily reliant on personal brand awareness. You, Harrison Cantel, are the brand. It's not like Google, which is the brand, and then everybody is underneath that. You made the comparison about Elon Musk and Tesla, who has more followers? Is it Elon Musk or is it Tesla? And you said, rightly so, it's Elon Musk. Elon Musk as an individual is a brand. So you as a personal brand, how are you measuring the success of that?
The main metric that I pay closest attention to is conversations. And I feel like it's something that we don't talk about enough when we think about engagement. We talk about likes, comments, shares, saves, whatever, shares. For me, it's actually conversations. So if I put a piece of content out that I look at and think, well, technically I'm not teaching anyone something here. I'm not giving them a certain tip. I'm just sharing a little snippet into my life or what I've been doing today in London, for example. Although it may not be super valuable to someone, but actually the conversations that I had off the back of that helped me to grow and create more inbound leads, which is super important for me. Inbound leads, people messaging me saying, look, I'm nervous on camera, I want your help, I saw you on this podcast with LiveLink, I want your help. Great, let's do it. So I think, for me, it's the conversations that I had, which is obviously not a front-facing metric. You can't tell me how many conversations as a metric, how many of them are happening, but I can tell you, well, I'm having X amount of DMs from this type of post and X amount of DMs from this type of post. So for me, that's the most important metric. And I don't get, I said it earlier, I don't get too emotionally attached to the likes, comments, shares. I've never had a post go viral, so to speak.
I think you have.
But it depends what you class as viral as well. Because if you've got 100,000 followers, a viral post is millions of views. For me, a viral post could be 10,000. So it depends. But again, I don't get too emotionally attached to it. And one thing I swear by and I live by is I expect nothing, but I appreciate everything.
Nice, I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'll leave you with that gem, that little golden nugget.
Well, on that topic, anybody that's watching, if they do want to get in touch with Harrison and want to use Harrison's services, or maybe they just want to reach out to you and have a chat, I'm sure you'd be open to that.
Absolutely.
You can find him through the LiveLink LinkedIn page, where we've tagged a nice big picture of you with a tag to your LinkedIn
shiny
page as well.
forehead in there as well.
So they'll see you on there, and also all over the LiveLink Instagram as well. We thank you very much, Harrison, for being our first creator advocate influencer.
Absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for having me. And again, thank you for the aircon and coffee and everything else.
It's our pleasure, and more importantly, at LiveLink, we believe that everybody has something they want to teach, or should I say, everybody has something that they can teach, and everybody has something that they want to learn. And myself today have learned a lot, and that's because you've taught me something, or quite a few things around camera confidence, and also I'm going to pick your brains later about this organic social media reach. And thank you very much.
We'll go get a bite to eat.
Really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.